Hello everyone. I'm just back from my Fulbright column Climate Fellowship for Academic and Professional Excellence Research, which I completed at the Yale Center for Environmental Law and Policy at the Yale School of the Environment, Yale University. Recently, some of the scholars who are willing to apply for the Academic and Professional Excellence Fellowship contacted me to understand better the application process and to increase the potential for getting selected. So there came this thought, why not create a series of short videos to share my experience and learning from this fellowship. So here I am sharing with you my experience and learning about Fulbright Academic and Professional Excellence Fellowship. Today, I'm going to share about two things. The first is about suitability of applying for this category of the fellowship. The second is about the importance of starting early on. Talking about the suitability, as you would note that Academic and Professional Excellence Fellowship is a senior level fellowship of Fulbright. So it is very important that you develop the credential to apply for such fellowship. If you have already developed understanding, credentials, and expertise in a particular area, if you have published well in that area and well known in that particular field, then that definitely would increase your chance of getting selected for this fellowship, because as you all know, it's a highly competitive fellowship. Any Fulbright fellowship for that matter is very competitive. The second point is the importance of starting early on. Why it is important? Because then you can plan about your research or teaching, whatever you are planning to apply for. Because this fellowship, you can apply for either research or you can apply for both teaching and research. I applied only for research because I wanted to spend time exclusively for research during the entire duration of this fellowship. But you can always apply for both teaching as well as research. Now, you can then think about the focus area of your research or teaching if you start early on, and you can also approach a potential host professor in the United States. If you start early, that would really help, because when you are planning to spend your valuable time at this stage of your career, it is generally expected that you would like to work with some of the renowned professors in some of the good universities in the US. So, obviously, the renowned professors would be exceedingly busy. For me, for instance, I worked with Professor Daniel C. St., who is Hillhouse Professor of Environmental Law and Policy at the Yale School of Environment and Yale Law School, and also the head of the Center for Environmental Law and Policy at the Yale School of the Environment. When I first approached him, he was away on a sabbatical, so obviously it was not possible for him to host me. But he told me that we can keep in touch and keep discussing about the potential. So that is something we did. In between it, we developed some kind of research collaboration. We started working on a project. And later, after 1 year, I again approached him for this fellowship application and requested him to host me. And he was very kind to agree at that point, because by then he was back to Yale. So the point I'm sharing here is you can understand that why it is important for you to start early on. Mind you that it is not a requirement for your application that you must have a host professor decided beforehand. However, my experience tells me if you already have a host professor, it helps a lot in terms of your chance of getting selected in this highly competitive fellowship application process. Apart from other things, you already have one more endorsement letter from your host professor. And you also have the certainty, once you get selected, you can immediately start planning for your fellowship journey, which is not possible if you start looking for a host professor after getting selected. I am aware of some people who actually did not approach a host professor. They got selected, but it took them many months before they could actually start their Fulbright journey. So that is not something which is desirable or optimum, I would say. So I would summarize the points I made here. First is, check for the suitability of your application for this category of senior level Fulbright fellowship. Second is, start early and approach a potential host professor. For more, please stay tuned and follow me on my YouTube channel. I am going to share with you different other aspects of the Fulbright application process going forward. Thank you for listening.